1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon. Oh,
it will be hot, but it's not as hot as, let's say, the roofs were open and heat is actually coming inside, you know? So I feel like these hydrogen break, it's all just advertising. It's not really to, you know what, we care about the players. Let's give them a little bit of a break here, you know? It's not. It's just to get some money out of it, you know?
But also, if I can just say that momentum, as we say, that's an interesting word in football, but it's like in any sport. Momentum is such a key thing, and it doesn't just happen like that. You build it. You build momentum like a jet engine when it's going off down the runway. It builds. So what's happening with these breaks? And it almost happens exactly on the quarter way through the match, or halfway through that half time, the first half, that one team, often the disadvantaged team, the lesser team, has managed to build up a momentum, and then it's suddenly crushed by that stop, and that's seriously affecting the game itself, and possibly the result. For all we know, we'll never know, I guess. But I just think they really should be tailoring this to only where it is really hot and they need a hydration break. Because, the other side of it is, if they're playing in degrees 30 to 35 degrees of football, that's very hot to play. Your body will need replenishment. So I can understand that in that situation, or if they were playing in Qatar like they did last time, and although that was in December and it was still hot. But here where they are now, I don't think it can be justified to do it on every single game. But it's not going to change because of anything we or anybody else says, I guess. And another little interesting aside, I think, I mean, America, as you say, they have great pitches, great stadiums, and they have such a fantastic array of sports. You know, we can think of them: basketball, NFL, baseball, all these great games that they have, ice hockey and so on. And actually, whether we like it or not, football, or soccer as they call it, is a relatively minor relative of those games in America. And I don't know what the exact percentage is, but we're told that something like 70 to 80% of Americans don't even know the World Cup is being played, because important as it is to Europe and South America and so on, it's not one of the main games in North America. Yes, our players have gone over there, particularly Beckham early on, and really introduced the game and made it quite big relatively. But most Americans don't even know it's going on, which is not a criticism, but it's testimony to the fact they have fantastic stadiums usually for other sports. So it's a bit of a side thought, but to us it's all important. Maybe to them it isn't, but it still doesn't justify these enormous ticket prices, which again is something else, I guess.
No, it doesn't, does it? Yeah, I quite see what you're coming from with that. Now, Messi, what do we make of Messi as a player? I mean, he's called hat-trick, so regardless of whether he should have been sent off, but he's slowly, if not veering towards becoming the player with the most goals in the World Cup, or the highest goal scorer in the history of World Cup. That's a remarkable achievement, isn't it?
I mean, he's more or less joined now with Klaus, hasn't he? With his 60 goals now. As a player, he can be a great tactician. You know, he's great assist. He's got more assists than he does goals. Or is it the other way around now? Anyways, he is a good player in that sense, but I feel that he's lazy in a sense. He doesn't make a run. He just walks. You'll see him he'll scan.
say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose. Three beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.
Walks, you'll see him he'll scan around, he'll walk, and that's about it really. He'll be like, oh, okay, you know what, the ball's gone back now, I'll leave that to the defense. I'm a winger, you know. I don't need to go on defense, which is not true because at the end of the day, you're all one team. You all, if you're pushing up, you push up with them. Even the defense, they all push up. So, yeah, it's very lazy in my sense, you know. If your team needs more defense back, you push back as well. Even the forwards, they go back as well. It's also why we criticised Rashford as well. We criticised him a lot because he was doing the exact same things what Messi was doing. Walking on the pitch, and then when we actually needed reinforcement at the back, he was up there. You know, it's like, oh, don't worry, guys. I'm waiting for the ball over here. Pass it to me. Like, no, come back here. We need you, you know? So like I said, I feel like he's a lazy player in a sense. You know, he doesn't make the runs when he should do, you know, or make a defensive impact in a sense. You know, yes, he's a small guy, but that doesn't mean anything. We've seen small players make very big impact in games. More or less, the whole Japanese squad. I think the minimum like height there is like 5'6" or 7". They're not tall players, but they're all very good players. You know, and they all do their part. So you can blame whatever you want, but at the end of the day, I just feel like he's a lazy player, you know.
Okay, bruv.
Yeah, I smiled when Tony said lazy player because I've always thought, I truly have always thought, Messi is a lazy player. But there's a big but there that he's kind of big. No one's bigger than the sport, of course, but he kind of is. And I said earlier about he should have been sent off. And for my part, I'm glad he wasn't, although perhaps he should have been. But yeah, I've always, whenever I've watched him, thought he's lazy. He walks a lot. He does walk. But then when he does get the ball, he can do things with a football that mere mortal footballers can never do. I can think of a few examples where he's managed to sort of dribble around somebody right by the goal line, not the goal line itself, but where near the corner flag, and he somehow magically walks in with it, beats about 3 players and scores. I don't. You'd be a brave manager, whether club or country, to say to Lionel Messi, "Come on, old fella, you've got to start tracking back," because he won't do it. And he must know, of all players, he's got that license to be Lionel Messi. And you could also argue that we've got very used over the last few years in the Premier League to doing what Tony said, and that is all tracking back, all tracking forward, and it makes for maybe end-to-end stuff, so it's not always a bad thing. But if you go back perhaps to the earlier days of the Premier League in the 90s and the noughties, I think there were players.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the